This Amateur Radio Roundtable is brought to you in part by Icom America.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Amateur Radio Roundtable. Today is July 10th, and I am Katie, WY7YL, here in Sundance, Wyoming. And whether you're watching live tonight or watching the replay on YouTube, welcome, and we're so happy to have you join us. We are here also on shortwave tonight on the world-famous WBCQ 5130. We hope you'll join us also on our Facebook group where we have lots of lively and active discussions. You could just click the link up there at the top of our site. And tonight we've got a few of our regulars with us for some conversation and ham radio chit-chat. With that, I'm going to turn it over to the man who's in charge, Mr. Tom Medlin, W5KUB. Hi, Tom.
Oh man, hey, I'm in charge tonight. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, man. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can completely get out of this thing. We've been doing this for about the show now for 3.5 years. By now, I should have been able to, get you guys kind of trained where I don't have to be here anymore. But we're still working on it. Hey, a couple announcements tonight, real quick, guys. Let me show you. The first thing I just want to mention is Ferry. Everybody knows Ferry. He's in our chat room all the time and watching PD1FER. Ferry became ill here this past month and actually lost consciousness, and they took him to the hospital. When he woke up, he was in the hospital. Well, about a week later, he goes home, and he's feeling great. He's going home, and everything in his house has been stolen. So that didn't make him feel very good. So anyway, he's got insurance, but it doesn't pay for everything. And Ferry has got a GoFundMe page, and I want to put a link up here if I can. And I don't have it. So somebody...
We'll grab it.
I'll tell you what, if you go to the HRD or Ham Radio Deluxe site, they've got a link up for Ferry, and it's a new link that's on US dollars. Ferry set it up on euros, and it wasn't doing very well, and I think it's because it's euros. I think in dollars it would work much better. So it's being set up again. You can probably find the link in his picture on our Facebook group at W5KUB. So let's all try to help Ferry out if we can help him out there. The other thing I wanted to mention was I've got a friend in North Carolina. He's in the chat room a lot. Jeff Powell. Let's see if he's in here. KM4QBC. KM4QBC. Is he in the chat room tonight? I'm looking. I don't know if I've seen him.
You talk about him being your friend, and now he's not here.
Boy, I tell you what, I'm going to really have to get on him. But anyway, Jeff Powell, KM4QBC, he had his tech license in this past year or so, and he just upgraded to general yesterday. I'm going over to North Carolina tomorrow, and we're going to build him some antennas and put some antennas up. He bought a radio, and he's got a radio. So we're going to get him on the air probably this coming week.
Did you have him on the show, Tom?
He was on this show maybe a couple years ago. It's a local ham I met over in Tuckasegee, North Carolina. It's like, I didn't know there were any other hams over there, and I met him. And Jeff's actually a pastor at a little church over there. And in fact, he lives up on the mountain right behind our house, not too far. You don't see it, but he's back there. So anyway, congratulations to Jeff for getting his license. While I'm over there, I'm going to go to their club meeting. Jackson County Amateur Radio Club in North Carolina is having a ham breakfast on Saturday morning, and I'm going to go speak Saturday morning. And they wanted to hear about the webcast and all the fun things we do, and so we're going to go over there and have breakfast with them and meet them, and then after that, we're going to try to convince everybody to go up to Jeff's house and try to help raise some antennas. That's about all I got. So, Katie, I think you got some shack pictures tonight. Let's get back to Katie.
Oh, all right. Well, we do have some shack pictures tonight, and thanks for everybody who's been posting in our Facebook group and sharing what they've got going on in their shack. Don't forget, when you do send a picture in, please put in what's in your shack. Otherwise, we have to pull out the microscope and examine it and try to figure out what you've got. And I know there was quite a few additions to the shack photos today. Those will make it on the next show, so we have a little bit of a shorter segment on the shack pictures tonight, but when you are ready, Tom, roll that beautiful bean footage. I mean, those shack photos. I couldn't resist. I've always wanted to say that. Okay, so so tonight we're starting with Doug Phillips, who's Whiskey Echo 6 Zulu from Single Springs, California. Doug is running an Elecraft K3, and he's running some power with the Alpha 87A amp, and he's got the Force 12 antenna outside at 50 feet. And he's using a 40-80 meter inverted V at 45 feet.
Yeah,
very nice.
There's the
where
antennas.
Single Springs is, but oh, look at that. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice view. That's for sure. We get sunsets like that too here. Mm-hmm. All right, now moving over to the eastern side of the states to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, to Don Pickles, Whiskey 3 Lima Hotel Tango. He's got a nice little shack going on there with the FTDX 1200 and the Icom 7300.
And look, Katie, he really takes care of his equipment. It's covered.
Wait a minute, let me put my glasses
on. Look at there.
Oh,
it's
you're
covered,
right.
Man. It's covered. I wonder if those are real. You think those are real radios under there? I bet they are.
I bet they are, but obviously he's smarter than I am because he's covering it up, probably keeping any animal hairs out of there.
Yeah.
Whereas we let Peekaboo sit on the amplifier, you know. All right, so let's see who's next in the list there. I think Martin Frazier from Linwood, Illinois is next. He is Whiskey 9 Uniform X-Ray. Oh, he's got the Icom 746 and the Yaesu's FTDX 5000 MP amp. Is that correct? Yeah. And I'm not sure what this is, but a QRO 2500 DX.
I don't know what it is either.
You guys know Dave or Joe?
Sounds like an amp.
It's an amp.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. And then also an Ameritron 11H amp. So he has got no shortage of power in the shack. Well, the FTDX 5000, that's a radio.
That's the radio, yes.
Yeah, okay. And then, okay. Sorry about that.
You know what? I mean, Marvin must really like that radio because I think in the description he put FTDX 50,000.
Oh.
I took the liberty. I took a zero off. I hope I'm right. They may make a 50,000 out there. I don't know.
No, this definitely stops at the 5,000 for the highest numbers, but that's a nice looking shack.
Yeah.
Boy. All right, so now we're moving up to Charles Miller, November 2 Bravo Tango X-Ray. He's in Perry, New York. He's got the Yaesu FTDX 3000, also the Yaesu FT 847, and he's using the Ameritron AL 811 amp. And he's also got a couple more MFJ products in there, the 986 tuner and the 4726 switch. Very cool. I like that world map on his desk. It looks like a giant mouse pad, which it might be, but that's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
That's handy so when you're working DX and going, where is that country after all?
You think he's left-handed?
Yeah, you think?
Well, I don't know. No, wait a minute. The mice are to the right. That's a microphone and something else to the left, isn't it?
Oh, headphones are over there. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it is. I thought, boy, that's a pretty big mouse. That's not a mouse. That's a rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super. That's a really nice shack there, Charles. Thanks for sending that in. All right, now our friend Ray Foote, Kilo Gulf 5 Uniform Hotel Zulu's down in New Albany, Mississippi. And let's see, we've got, he's got a couple nice radios in there. I don't know what they are, but.
Well, he's got some audio equipment. Now, all I had was his name. I looked the name up on QRZ and it came up with that call. I think that's probably him. I don't know. But he didn't give any description with the equipment. But I see some audio equipment up there on top. Looks like equalizers and an MFJ product there. I see a Behringer mixer.
Yep, I see a handheld radio. I'm not sure what the ones are in the radio. In the middle are.
I'm not either.
Older Kenwood equipment.
Is it?
Is that okay?
Yeah, and it looks like where the knobs are placed, that's got the tube finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's like a Kenwood 920 or 930 or something.
Huh.
Yeah.
That'd be a transistor rig, wouldn't it?
Hey, this could be a whole new segment. Guess
Yeah,
the radio.
name that radio.
You know?
Yeah.
Send us your pictures, and we got to figure out what they are.
Yeah, open the phone lines. Name that radio. Yeah. Now,
That'll be a
Pat's in the chat room. I know he's here.
Oh, all right. Hey, Pat. I know him. All right. Let's see. Where's the rest? Let's see. Okay, hold on a second. Let me scroll down here. So Pat is November 3 Golf Whiskey Zulu. And he has got, he's got himself a new Icom 7300. He's got the Elecraft KX3. He's also got the amp that goes along with the Elecraft there. And he's got nice bencher paddles, high microphone. And he says he's using a G5 RV and 125 foot long wire sloper. So pretty sweet there, Pat.
Yeah.
Nice job. A nice WPX certificate on the wall behind him there too. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob Montgomery, Whiskey 3 Zulu Radios down in Eaglesmere, Pennsylvania. He's got an Icom 7200, the Icom 718, and the SCG 2000 tuner. Nice photos and other cool stuff hanging up on the wall there. Nice. I tell you, I think everybody cleans up. I'm waiting to see people send in pictures like what Joe's shack looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
I know, but that's what most of us really look like, I think.
Yeah, it is.
And, all right, and here's our last one. Wendell Agram is Kilo 9 Uniform Ocean Kilo. He's in Newcastle, Indiana. And here's another guess, the radio. That looks like an Icom in the middle, the main radio.
Let me tell you, I talked to him on the air the other day, and it's difficult when you say his call because you get into this K9. You okay? You okay? You okay? And he said, "Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay."
Yeah.
And you get stuck in it, man.
Fine.
Oh, I guess that's the 7600 in the middle, maybe.
Let's see, 70. Man, I
Could
don't know.
be. Looks
Yep,
like
it
our
looks
radio.
like one.
Could be.
Looks like it, right, Joe?
Got some
Joe,
nice
you got one of
Collins.
these too, don't you? Yeah.
Yep.
Got some
All right,
nice
so
Collins.
Joe and I, we have one of those up.
7300.
We're agreeing on that's what that is.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like I'm doing a terrible job with the track photos tonight. Sorry, guys.
No, you did fine.
All right, so as a reminder, keep posting your pictures in our Facebook group. We'd love to see that and share here on the show. And if you don't send in a description of what you got in your shack, either we're going to guess or we're just going to start making stuff up.
We're going to make it up, right?
I think we should make up some funny
Yeah, let's
things.
make up some funny stuff. Hey, I forgot to show this a minute ago. There's Jeff Powell's test. Look at that. And there they circled the general there. I think he said he missed one question on it. So great job, Jeff.
That's great, Jeff. Good job.
Yeah. All
Hey,
right.
Jeff, here he comes.
So what's next, Katie? What's next tonight?
Let's see. Besides, my earphones are falling out here. Well, we've got Joe and Dave with us tonight. And I think Joe
Let's
supposed to
chat
give
with
us a report
let's
or
chat with Dave a minute before we hit Joe because I don't want Dave to feel left out there. Hey Dave, is it hot out there where you live? It's hot here. We'll start it like that.
Well, right at the moment it's 64. We've just had some rain come through, and it's been down in the 60s and 50s at night, but we've had quite the heat spell with some days in the 90s, which is very unusual for this altitude. We're at 7,000 feet, and normally it doesn't go over about 85. But we've definitely had a heat wave. The rain that we are having this afternoon is our first rain in weeks, and we're glad for it. Happy to have it.
Well, that's cool.
So, what I've been up to, MFJ sent me a 1846, the MFJ 1846, which is a 6-band hex beam antenna. It's 20 through 6 meters.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put it together yesterday and today. I ran into a glitch that slowed me down, but now I've got the thing all together. Everything is in place, and I went to mount it on my usual mast for testing these antennas, which is 2 lengths of chain link fence top rail that go together and give me about a 22 foot mast, and discovered that that's too small. The clamp on the antenna won't clamp down on something that thin. So tomorrow's mission is to find a mast of some sort. All the stuff at Home Depot, like for example, the chain link fencing stuff and everything is just too thin. The antenna weighs 25 pounds, and it's got some wind loading on it, so it needs a sturdier mast. I'm looking for something about 2 inches in diameter. We have a place called Reclam Metal near us. It's a recycling center for industrial metal products. So I'm going to go up there and see what they have, and maybe I'll find a mast up there.
Now,
this is.
Let me just say this, Dave. In the olden days, we wouldn't worry about that. We'd cram a piece of wood or something up in there and tighten it down.
Well, I may end up doing something like that because I'm just not finding anything. There are ways of making wood A-frames that you can tilt up. And if I can make something like that, I can get that thing maybe 25, 30 feet in the air. Ideally, it would be 33 feet because that's a quarter wavelength on 20 meters. So we'll see how it works. This is my first beam antenna.
Well, that's cool.
So I'm excited about it and looking forward to testing it and doing a video on it. MFJ has also sent me a lightweight rotor for it so I can turn it. And so it comes back to the issue of the mast.
Well, that's good.
I've got to find. Now, I was a captain in the Air Force, so when I get this, it'll be called the captain's mast.
Right.
We'll see. We'll see if that happens. So that's what's going on here. These antennas, they come completely disassembled. There are no two pieces of it pre-attached to each other inside the box. It's down to the last nut and bolt and everything like that. And I feel like I've been manufacturing plant for the last couple days putting this thing together. Yeah. I did run into one quality issue where there was a hole that was supposed to be drilled in the part of the antenna that distributes the signal to the various bands, and the hole wasn't there. So I did a little workaround with a small hose clamp, and I think it'll work just fine. Cool. But the instructions could use a few more drawings, I'll tell you that.
Well, and there's a lot of parts of those things. Now, hey, that's a 2-element hex beam. Now, I don't know if I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but let me tell you something. I know that there is a 3-element hex beam coming out in the future.
Oh, cool.
So that's going to be interesting to see that thing. Hey, Dave, I want to talk more about that antenna in a little while. I got a few questions about it. And what we're going to do in a little while, guys, we're going to open up the phone lines for everybody. Martin was unable to make it tonight, as I don't know if maybe I just told the co-host here, but Martin was supposed to be on tonight, and he's come down kind of sick. He loves his grandkids so much that every time he's around them, he catches something from a cold or something. And he just didn't feel like being on the video tonight. So he may be watching. If you are, hey, Martin, get well soon, man, and we'll have you back on. But so what I want to do after a while, I'm going to open the phone lines up, and the last half of the show, we'll just make it about our viewers. And if they want to call in and talk to Dave or talk to Joe or Katie or me, we're just going to do that. Let's jump over to Joe real quick, and then after Joe, I do have some questions about that antenna and your experience with it.
Okay.
All right. So, hey, Joe, are you ready?
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact.
Well, what do you got
Greetings from Lincoln, Nebraska, where it's 91 degrees. It was 94 earlier, but I'm wearing my frost advisory shirt. Of course, we're looking forward to Coach Frost. So, of course, we have a frost advisory here in Nebraska, in 90-degree weather. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to show a few pictures here. kit in progress, and we're going to go over some local ham fests that we have coming up here. And then I've got a few slides of Huntsville to get us all hyped up for next month. It's a month away, and we'll see you in Huntsville. So let's see what we can do here to get everything so that we can do
hey,
this.
Joe, and thanks for cleaning up your shack, too, for the pictures here.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you wouldn't know it was my shack if it wasn't a disaster.
It kind of looks like mine at times, actually. Yeah.
It looks like mine all the time.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's see here. Let's see what we can do. So I think if we do this, you're going to get to see my screen. And do you have it?
I do.
Okay. All right. What you're looking at is the view in my backyard. This is something that most people don't see, and this is the tower here. It is a 48-foot HDBX Roan. The beam, the large HF beam at the top, is a TH3 Junior. Above that is a television antenna, and above that's a 6-meter beam, and then above that is a UHF beam. Below it, I don't know if you can see it on this side of the tower. It's not real visible. It looks like a piece of white PVC, and that is a folded dipole for the FM broadcast band, which I used to use to broadcast music to the park behind my house when they had Christmas lights. And now that is used for my HD receiver for FM broadcast and picking up a little DX. There's a disc cone just below that. There's some weather instruments. There's a vertical you can see poking up on the left. There is a top-fed, half-wave loaded sloper that's only about 65 feet long, and that's on 160 meters. And then there's an oddball 80 and 17 meter dipole, and there is the 40-meter double bazooka from Radio Waves, which has been absolutely wonderful. In fact, I worked Italy on it a couple days ago on FT8. So the double bazooka is doing its job quite well. A lot of these coaxes, which go into the house, and it's kind of a mess going in, are going to be replaced by one nice solid piece of LMR 400. I now have a DX Engineering 8-position remote coax switch that's going to go onto the tower and replace a lot of those feed lines. So we don't have as many cables coming into the house anymore once that's all done. So now you got a view of what the outside of K0NEB looks like. This is the Hilltopper 20. This is an extremely popular kit now that's put out by the 4-state QRP group. And it's designed by K1SWL, who designed the Rock Mic kits and several other kits for years. And he worked in conjunction with Dave Kripe, NM0S, who's a senior RF design engineer for Rockwell Collins, yes, Collins Radio in Cedar Rapids. And they came up with this 20-meter synthesized CW transceiver that when you push the button, it tells you what frequency you're on in Morse code. It's pretty slick, and it puts out 5 watts of CW and has a great receiver. Mine isn't quite done yet, and I'll show you where mine is in progress. This is what they look like completed inside. It's an absolutely fantastic little kit. And the surface mount stuff that you see there, don't worry about it because it's already put in place for you. But you do have to wind those toroids. This is what my board looks like. I hope I do a reasonably neat job on these things. And this is how far I've gotten. I'm a little over halfway through this board, and so it is currently in progress on my bench. Now we're going to kind of go away from the kit a little bit, and we're going to talk about some local ham fests. And these are kind of, the order's a little messed up because the way my file names are. So this is a look at a elementary school gym in Warrensburg, Missouri. And this is the Warrensburg Ham Fest. Now, Warrensburg is about 20 minutes or so, 20, 30 minutes to the southeast of Kansas City. So you can make a nice weekend trip to Kansas City and take in this little ham fest. This is one of those 3-hour or 4-hour quickie ham fests, but they serve breakfast at this thing. And they actually have breakfast at 7 a.m. before the doors open at 8. So it's a great time to grab breakfast and then walk in and see the ham fest. Here's another view of it. Warrensburg, like I said, that one is on the 21st this year, 21st of this month. It's pretty crowded and actually a fun time. This guy comes to a lot of the ham fests in the Kansas City metro area. This is Larry, W0AIB. His hat says Larry's List. Larry's List is an email mailing list, and if you look up his call sign and Larry's List, you can find out how to sign up for it. But it's primarily for people in the Kansas City metropolitan area in Kansas and Missouri, but primarily the Kansas City metro area. And it's a great list to subscribe to, even if you're 3 hours away like I am. You can find out a lot about what's going on in that area. He's, I think, 87 or 88 years old, and he publishes this list every day, including from his hospital bed when he had heart surgery last year. He's really dedicated to this. The weekend after that, which would be the 27th, 28th, 29th, is Victoria Springs here in Nebraska. Victoria Springs is a state recreation area about 20 miles northwest of Broken Bow, Nebraska. And where is that? That is kind of like putting a dot in the middle of the state of Nebraska. And it takes me about 3.5 hours or so to get out there from Lincoln. So it's kind of a long drive. This monument was placed there on the park grounds with a bench and everything. And this is so that visitors to the park year-round can find out why there's all these guys with the antennas that show up every year for about a week or two in late July. It is a steak fry, and at one time, I think at least 350 people attended this. And I remember in the early 70s, it would take me maybe an hour and a half to get through the buffet line and the steaks. Now it takes about 5 or 10 minutes. Unfortunately, the attendance has dwindled into the 80s. I think it was like 84 people last year. But I try to go every year like I have since 1972. What do we do there? We eat. There's maybe 3 or 4 flea market tables. So if you're looking for a big flea market, you're out of luck. But we do eat. On Friday night, they go into town, and there's a thing with roast beef and barbecue sandwiches. It's put on by a local ladies club. And then on Saturday, we have homemade ice cream and cookies and stuff. And then Saturday night, we have hot dogs and burgers on the grill. And then after that, we go up to the campgrounds, and you see these 2 guys with the hand crank poppers, and we have campfire roasted popcorn. We do 2 different kinds. We have the regular plain stuff and some that they mix with sugar. So a lot of guys like that. Of course, the popcorn is locally grown right here, as are the steaks. Come from the area. This is what it looks like. You can see there's 2 grills, but we're only using 1 grill now, sad to say, just 1 grill, as the number of people have dwindled a bit. This is put on by the Central Nebraska Amateur Radio Club, which operates in the Broken Bow area and within an hour's drive around it. I'm a member as well as a lot of people just to support the steak fry.
So Joe, let me ask the question. Why was the charcoal out on that thing? Is that do they move the charcoal, or do they just cook hot dogs over it, or what do they do?
Well, they put a grill over it, and you'll see that in the next shot.
They spread that out.
What they do is this is when they're lighting it, so they soak it in fluid, and then they torch it, and then after it starts glowing, they take a shovel and they spread it out, and then they put the top on this. Gotcha. And this is what it looks like when we're grilling.
Oh, man, I'm getting hungry again.
Oh, yes.
Why does ham radio always make you hungry?
Yeah, this is the one you go to if you want to eat, because that's all we do all weekend at this thing is we eat. And then last year we donated an electronic defibrillator to the park, because the closest fire and rescue units are at least 15, 20 minutes away. And so this is a popular little state park, but it didn't have anything like this, and we donated that to the state park so that it's there, and within minutes we can help somebody.
Now, is that put outside somewhere, or is it?
No, that's kept in
inside,
the superintendent's cabin.
I was going to say,
back.
if you mounted that in a park in Memphis, it wouldn't be there tomorrow.
Yeah, well, no, this is in the main house where you'd have to go to get a phone, because cell phones don't work real good out there.
Yeah.
And this is an annual picture I take of the denizens of Victoria Springs. And the guy I'm going to point out with the mouse here, WD0AAH, it was his dad who was one of the co-founders of the Hamfest. And so I try to take a group picture every year, but yet I'm in the picture. I get somebody else to push the button. So, oops, somehow we messed that up. There we go. So now let's drive a little bit north of Lincoln, Nebraska, and we'll take an hour drive north. And this is what I'll be doing on Saturday morning. And we go north of Lincoln. You can see the corn is getting tall. And we end up at a church social hall in North Bend, Nebraska. And this Hamfest attracts about 150 people. Has a really good flea market, very enjoyable, and lots of good times, and get to see a lot of friends and so forth. And it's always fun to go to a local Hamfest, and one I don't have to speak at. Just get to enjoy the flea market. And this is a look at D&L Antenna's booth. He comes from Kansas City and brings in all sorts of stuff. So let's see. That is the local ones. We'll go like this and see if that comes up. Okay. Now we're going to talk a bit about Huntsville. And a lot of people want to know, what is there to see in Huntsville besides the Hamfest? This is the U.S. Veterans Memorial Museum, and it's worth spending an afternoon at. We did this a couple years ago, and absolutely worthwhile. Lots of interesting exhibits about the U.S. military dating back from the Revolutionary War all the way through current, and lots of absolutely fascinating artifacts. And inside there's a room with all sorts of military vehicles, including several tanks, half-tracks, jeeps, a helicopter, like a MASH type helicopter, just all sorts of great stuff to remember those who probably do the most important job, and that's serving our country. That's the U.S. Veterans Memorial Museum in Huntsville. Something you definitely got to take an hour or two or more to take a look at. If you go to Huntsville, I'll bet this view looks familiar to several of us. This is the inside of the Embassy Suites. It is directly connected to the Hamfest. So if you stay there, you get your free breakfast downstairs, and they cook some of it to order. And then you walk across the walkway right into the Hamfest, right from the hotel. You don't have to go outside. Look at that, Tom.
Yeah.
There you go. And see, I'm going to point there. There's one of my tickets. How about that? Is in that picture. But we'll take a look here at another tourist attraction in the area. This is to the east near Scottsboro. This is Cathedral Caverns. And I wouldn't go there unless you're good at walking about a mile and a half or more, because it's a long hike in this cave. Now, of course, you've seen the scary pictures of the cave in Thailand. This isn't quite so scary, but it's definitely a long hike inside. And really kind of a beautiful sight. I've never really been into a cave before I did this one. And it's got a nice sidewalk like this that's plenty wide. In fact, they have a guy with a golf cart that is your tour guide. And this is one of the views of what it looks like in there. You can see the water kind of forming a reflecting pool, and they do have it lit up so you can see inside. Here's another view inside the cave. Cathedral Caverns near Scottsboro. And by the way, another attraction I forgot to put the pictures in, only a few miles from this place, is the Unclaimed Baggage Store. So if you ever wonder what happens to baggage that the airlines end up with, and where it goes, if they can't find its owner, it goes to the Unclaimed Baggage Store in Scottsboro, Alabama, about 45 minutes from Huntsville, just like this place is. Guess what we found in the cave, Tom? What is that?
That's the Wolfhong.
Here's a better picture of it.
Yeah.
We found the Wolfhong in Cathedral Caverns, so we know where the Wolfhong came from. It came from Cathedral Caverns in
awesome.
Scottsboro, Alabama. Guess who that is? That's Emmett. He brought the MCOM 1 that year, 2 years ago, and it's in front of Gigaparts in this shot. And here's a better shot of it completely set up. And I got to operate a little bit from there on an Icom 7300, and that was the first time I'd ever put my hands on one of those. I am so happy I have one, because all these hundreds and hundreds of contacts I've made on 6 meters FT8 lately, and all the 13 colonies and everything I've done on sideband have all been done on the 7300, and I really, really like that radio. All right, well, there's Don and Tyler, and they're looking at the drum before all the tickets got in. And this is you, of course, Tom, interviewing Charlie Emerson. Now, this was shot 2 years ago. I did not make Huntsville last year due to the solar eclipse here in Nebraska. So wanted to salute Charlie. He's kind of one of the co-founders of the Huntsville Hamfest, and he was its president for many, many, many years, and passed away several months before last year's Huntsville Hamfest. And I know the Hamfest is in very capable hands, but we all have to give a salute to Charlie N4OKL, who did an absolutely incredible job managing the Huntsville Hamfest for so many years. It wouldn't be what it is today without Charlie. I think you'd agree, Tom.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, he's missed.
And this is what it looks like inside the Hamfest, the flea market and so forth. And this is the most important reason we're there. We are every year proud to give out the Young Ham of the Year award, and every year the award is made in the afternoon on Saturday at the Huntsville Hamfest, and the Young Ham takes home a lot of goodies, including a radio waves antenna, a certificate, a Heil headset and mic, and this last several times a Yaesu FT817. So lots of great sponsors, and also, of course, they get CQ magazine as well as a gift certificate, I think, for like $1,000 or $1,500 to a radio store. So very worthwhile.
Yeah, and that's Skylar from New Mexico. He was our Young Ham of the Year that year also, and he's going to college down in New Mexico. And I'm not sure if WB5ORT is in the chat tonight, but Skylar, I think he's now on his sophomore year of school, but he went there and has gotten the ham club up and running, and actually has a couple really good videos on YouTube about all the things that they're going on. So he's continuing to keep ham radio a big part of his life. It's really great to see. Super young man.
Well, that's great, and we were happy to have him as Ham of the Year, and I'm very sorry I missed Marty's crowning as Young Ham of the Year last year because of the eclipse. Another place to go when you're at Huntsville is the Space and Rocket Center, and that's another one of those things you can spend several hours there, especially if you haven't been there before. Absolutely incredible collection of space artifacts, including a full-size Saturn V rocket inside this building that you can walk up to and touch, and an actual Apollo capsule that went to the moon. And there's a moon rock you can touch, and all sorts of mock-ups of the new Orion capsules and Dragon and stuff that's going to be going to the space station shortly. And this is just for you, Tom. read this.
Yeah.
This is what was put up on the wall a couple years ago.
Oh, man.
So there you go, Tom. There you go. And that is my throw down the gauntlet to you, and we'll see who wins more this year.
Well, I'm challenging you this year. I'm gonna have two challenges. One, I'm gonna win more prizes than you, and number two, I'm gonna win a bigger prize than you.
Well, we'll see what happens. Okay.
All
the
right.
last time I only won one thing, and that was a pair of tickets to, you're gonna love this, Dayton.
Yeah.
And that's what I won last time. So that was the least I've done. Usually I come close to breaking even on this, and it's fun, and they have a lot of good stuff, and it's a absolutely great ham fest. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you and everybody there, and I promise I will stop by your booth and do some live stand-ups and talk about what we're seeing there.
All right. Well, I'm thinking about bringing the band back together this year, man.
I'm hoping you
know,
do, because I'm really looking forward to being part of the band.
Yeah, we've got to get the right music selection, and I think it'll be a big hit. Sales haven't been real great on the CDs for the last 2 years, but I think we'll hit it big.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll redo one of our past hits, and maybe we've got a new one. In fact, I'm going to dig through my music library and see if I can find a good one for us.
All right, that's good. All right, well, Joe, thanks so much for sharing all that with us. We're going to see you in about 6 weeks, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Actually, a little over five and a half weeks
man.
until we're in hot, steamy Alabama, which is probably not much more hot and steamy than it is here in Nebraska right
But
now.
hey, the nice thing is, if you're in the embassy, it's cool. You don't have to go outside. You don't have to park outside. You can walk right into the ham fest. It is so cool, man. And yes, free breakfast. I do like their free breakfast there.
Yeah.
The buffet
We'll
is good.
We'll have to have Mark on here before the.
Yeah, Mark
couple
is going to
weeks
be
before for a
on.
reminder.
I think I've got Mark coming up in the next 2 weeks to be back on
good.
here, and we'll talk again. All right. Well, look, hey, let's take a quick break, and I'm going to open the phone lines in just a minute. And Dave, I want to talk to you about that antenna, but I'm going to open the phone lines, and what I'm going to do is open the phone lines, and that way anybody out there that wants to say hello to Dave or to Joe or Katie or me or whatever, have a question, just call in. So we'll be opening the phone lines in just a minute. So I'll be right back with you guys in just a minute.
It's time to get the transceiver that's best suited for your lifestyle. Icom offers a variety of high-performance and innovative products. See how you can make the most out of contest season with one of these transceivers. The competitive edge you've been looking for is in the IC7851. Raise the bar and hear what others cannot hear with this flagship HF 50 MHz transceiver. It has reciprocal mixing dynamic range, crystal clear local oscillator, spectrum scope, dual receivers, and a digital voice recorder. The IC7610 is the SDR every ham wants, and just in time for contesting season. This high-performance SDR has the ability to pick out the faintest of signals even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The new Icom 7610 is a direct sampling software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has direct RF sampling, 110 dB RMDR, an independent dual receiver, and dual digital select. The IC7300 has changed the way entry-level HF is designed. This high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design will far exceed your expectations. It has RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, a large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope, and an SD memory card slot. Visit icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on Icom radios.
All right, we're back, and we're back with Katie, Dave, Joe, and me. Let me put the phone number up. Let's get some phone calls coming in here. Let's see. There we go. All right. Hey, guys, call us, 901-286-1116. Call us with your comments or questions. We'd love to hear from you. And Give us a signal report out there. How well you're receiving us tonight.
Yeah. Hey, while we're waiting to see if anybody calls in, don't forget this weekend is the World Radio Team Championship. There have competitors from around the world. Everybody's descending into Deutschland, and actually I've seen a lot of American hams on Facebook who've gone over there early and are enjoying some vacation time all over Europe. And it's also the IARU HF International Contest. So this is a great time to get on the air and make some contacts, especially if you're working on your DXCC, and try to help those WRTC competitors. And there's a place, if you just go to their website, you can upload your logs even, and even download a certificate that you worked one of their stations. So it's pretty cool stuff. And so that's going to be the big operating stuff this weekend.
All right, let's see what we got.
Yep.
Okay.
And it is. You're right. It
Who's
is
on
a
the
great
phone?
time to do it, and you're guaranteed all the logs will go into Logbook of the World.
Yeah, that's for
All
sure.
right, let's see who's on the phone. Who we got on the phone?
Hi, Tom. It's Russ, KG0BK in Dubuque, Iowa.
Hey, Russ. You're
Hi, Russ.
my pirate friend.
Would you quit that? I'll get a
I didn't say about what, you know. I didn't say about what. And hey, the FCC's not even on here with us tonight, so you're okay, you know.
And by the way, the first weekend in August, there's the big Midwest Division Convention about an hour and a half from him in Dubuque. It'll be in north side of Cedar Rapids.
Yes, it is. Thank you for reminding me about that. And I was going to mention that, but thanks, Joe, for taking my, blowhard away.
So hey guys, let me just say again, we've got a few extra people that have joined us now. I'm going to be mobile tomorrow. Kathy and I are heading to our home over in North Carolina, Smokies. I'm going to be using Pocket RX-TX, so I will have HF mobile on any band for 10 hours tomorrow on the drive down. And I don't even have a radio in the car, so that's going to be cool. I'll try to post it. I'll try to post the frequencies on the YouTube, on the Facebook page. Let's try to get some contacts going.
That would be awesome, Tom. I'm just wondering, is Dave still with us?
Yes, Dave's here.
I am.
Okay.
I'm right here.
Okay. Dave, well, good to talk to you again. I just had a comment for you that I had kind of a kid. I guess he's not so much of a kid now. He's like 25. But he was always interested kind of in what I was doing, and he'd hang around the shack now and then. And he texted me about 3 weeks ago and asked how he could, what it would take to be a ham radio operator and what all it was about. I sent him over to your website, and I said, just start with your number one episode and start looking. And he texts back and says, this guy is really good. And you've done wonders for him. I think he's going to go ahead and become a ham, and I want to thank you for that.
Well, great. Thank you for mentioning that experience. I hope he's really looking forward to getting on the air.
I think he probably is. Katie, got one for you. Thanks for the note there on the chat room. Yeah, it's a really big shoe. I had texted her that I said I was going to send in a picture of my station here, just as I normally operate, not fixing it up or making it fancy. And
That's
I
right.
said show or shoe instead of show. So I
was wondering if that was a secret code for something.
I think, hey, you know, we're probably older than you. Isn't that what Ed Sullivan used to say?
Yeah, well,
Really
that's what I
big shoe.
told her. I said, well, that's what I texted back. I says, oh, sorry, I'm not Ed Sullivan.
Yeah.
This is a really big show, not shoe. Sorry.
Yeah.
And let's see, I had something for Joe, I thought. Joe, your kits are great. Oh, I was going to ask you on that transmitter you were showing way earlier in the show. Is that the SI, and I think it's like 5232 little postage-sized chip that does like three frequencies?
It is a synthesizer. I don't know exactly the details of it, but it is definitely a DDS, direct digital synthesizer.
But it'll do any frequency, right, Joe? And it's not just three
Yes.
frequencies.
Yeah, it tunes around, and you can listen to the whole band, the whole 20-meter band with this thing. It is a transceiver, and it tunes the whole band, but does the CW. Obviously, you'd be in the lower part of the band, but it puts out 5 watts of CW. It's pretty amazing.
Okay. Well, I think I know what that is, and I've seen it before, and they're real cheap, and I guess really pretty neat thing too. So I guess that's all I have tonight, Tom.
Yeah,
We'll
you know,
let
hey,
go. Tom,
hey.
let's see. Oh,
Hey, Russ.
the ham radio is
Yeah.
putting in there. They used to call it Tom's All You Can Eat, but they decided to change it to ham radio just for you.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, Glenn just posted in the chat room that chip I think you're talking about is the SI5351. It's a DDS
Right.
chip that you use in a lot of Arduino projects.
Yeah,
That's what you're talking about,
5350.
yeah.
That's right. Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's
Yeah,
very, and, that's
and the
a-
good part
that's a
about
neat
this
little
kit
chip.
is that the
Yeah.
surface mount parts like that and the couple that are on the main board are already placed for you.
Yeah, that's the other thing everybody always had trouble with was those surface mount chips, and yeah, me too. I'm still back in the old tube days where you could just take a soldering gun, not an iron, but a gun if you need to, and fix something. So anyway, we'll let you go and let other callers on here.
All right,
Tommy,
Russ.
thank you for having me, and Katie and Joe, thank you, and Dave, thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
Good
All
to
right,
talk with you.
bye-bye now.
And we'll see you in Cedar Rapids.
All right. Looking for callers, 286-1116, area code 901. Hey, Dave, on that antenna you put together, have you checked it out yet to see, what kind of match you got? Or are you going to wait till you get it way up in the air?
At present, the highest I've had it in the air is 2 feet.
Oh, okay.
The directions suggest putting in about a 2-foot mast so you can assemble it more easily. And
Yeah.
I tried to do it without that and gave up and went and installed that. I took a 4-foot piece of that chain link fence top rail and pounded it down 2 feet into the ground and used that for construction. It's cool because you can stand in one place and just swivel the antenna around.
Yeah.
But that's too close to the ground to check SWR.
Yeah. 901-286-1116 is the phone number. Yes, give us a call. Let's see. Joe, they want to know, do you have a postings for the kits that you have? Do you
I don't. I'm working on that now because I now have my domain, and I'm working with one of the guys at work, and we're going to come up with a web page that I can have kind of a history of a lot of the kits that I've worked on over the years with some pictures of each one and how to get them if they're still available.
Well, I think in past shows, I think at one point there was a small list that maybe Jill or somebody helped put together somewhere. I remember something about some of the kits.
That'd be a smattering of what I've worked on over the years.
All right. So let's see who's on the phone.
This is Richard, KB3ZVH in Erie, Pennsylvania.
ZDH, right?
And I just want to say hi to the gang and let you know that I watch you every week. And
That's cool.
you have a really, really good show. And let you know I just got a new radio for the car. I got one of the Elinco B185, the 85-watt 2-meter. And it works really well.
Well, that's...
And
what kind of antenna did you use?
I saw him for a few minutes at Dayton just before Commander Wheelock came in.
Now, who did you see?
Dave.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh.
Are you okay? You're one of the guys that came up and said hi, Dave?
Yeah,
I
said
got
hi
to meet
Dave,
quite
and,
a few Augies while I was
he
there.
was talking to you at the time, so I really didn't interrupt
Yeah.
too much. So it was nice to see everybody, and looking forward to our Hamfest for our club this weekend. Just a little one, so hopefully we get enough people to make the club some money. So,
Where is that, Richard? Where is that?
It's the Wattsburg Wireless Association is having their Hamfest Saturday from 7:30 to about noon, and that's at the Greene County or the Greene Township Municipal Building, and hopefully a lot of the hams that may be listening in Erie, New York, Western New York, and Eastern Ohio, hopefully they'll make it.
Okay, well, great. Maybe you'll have a big crowd. Hey,
hopefully
if
you make
everybody,
some money for the club. That's a good way to do it.
Hey, if you only have 1% of the people that watch the show come up there, you'll have 1 million people.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah.
And hey, keep up the good work. We really enjoy the show every week.
All right, thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Bye-bye.
someone asked on here. I know one person doesn't do Facebook. If you want to send your shack pictures to me through email, you can just send them to Tom at W5KUB, and I can take care of at W5KUB.com. I can take care of them there, or send them to Katie, and we'll get them on one way or the other. All right, 901-286-1116. So Dave, is your wife going to let you put all these different antennas up out there, or are you going to keep some of them put in storage?
Well, the thing to do is involve her in the process of putting them up.
Yeah.
That creates buy-in.
Yeah,
And because right now I've just been trying to put it in the backyard about 50 feet away from my MFJ cobweb antenna, so I can do some comparisons between the two. And that puts it right square in the middle of the field of view of the mountains from our dining room. So I think it's a great addition to the environment. I'm not sure my
well,
wife
you
does.
might be able to mount that cobweb below your hex beam there, kind of on the same tower.
Well, they're both designed to be at the end of the mast. The mast won't go through it to allow you to put another antenna on top of it.
The mast does not go through? You say the mast does not go through?
The mast does not go through the antenna and come out the top.
Well, you're just going to have to
In
drill a
both
big hole.
cases, it's up against something flat.
Yeah, you're going to have to fix that so you can put them on the same. Maybe you come out with a mod there with a center that's got a hole through it, and that way they can mount it on the same mast.
Yeah, one of the problems, of course, is that they're antennas that mostly cover the same bands.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get interaction between the antennas no matter what I do.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to get this at least a few wavelengths away from the other antenna. I know it will distort the pattern, but maybe that can be a good thing.
We've got to do some antenna work. Jeez, we get our 20 meters not working. Our 20-meter antenna's not working. Just the wind, between the wind and the rain we've had lately. Last night we had a wicked storm blow through. It was upwards of like 60 miles an hour. Last week there was a hailstorm that came through, and I got a few dings on my car, but it got worse as it continued east. And our friend Dan and 7WIO lives just 2 miles away. Had damage to his house, a broken windshield, dings in all of his vehicles, and then there was people that were traveling on the interstate, and the hailstones got even bigger, and people were driving along the interstate, and their windshields were getting broken as they were driving along the interstate, their moon roofs, and I saw some videos of people driving down I-90 and just seeing these rows of vehicles lined up with all these broken windshields. There's a house down in the canyon near us that the whole side of their house where the storm hit, it looked like some of the old castles we looked at that had been in nailed with old cannon fire. You know, when we went to Scotland, it was just the entire thing was wrecked. And then yesterday, when the winds blew through, and I was looking at it, I thought, oh my gosh, this is like another storm we just had. And thankfully, it seemed to didn't do too much damage here. And then we were getting this extreme weather, so it's like, well, figures we finally, had some antennas damage, and I think this weekend will probably be somebody's going to be climbing the tower to get some antenna work done. But this is not good timing with the WRTC and IARU contest this weekend.
Don't you hate it when the antenna up that high goes bad?
Well, yeah. It's not good. The 80 meter works at least, thank goodness, because we have a nightly Wyoming net that on 80 meters that I check into, and then on Sunday mornings and on the fourth Sunday of the month I actually call the net, and so I was so at least that antenna is still working, but it's the other ones that are problematic right now.
6 is working.
Oh, 6 is working. Yeah, Dwayne's over there working FT8 on 6 meters right now.
All right. Hey, you know what? We're gonna be here about 5 more minutes. The line is open, 901-286-1116. I'm gonna close the show a little early tonight. I have a lot of packing to do. I got to pack my 7300 up and take with me, and I'll be operating portable over in Tuckasegee, North Carolina. 901-286-1116. Give us a call. This is going to be your last chance.
Last chance. Otherwise, we're all going to go do stuff.
That's right. I'm going to get me something to eat.
Tom's got to go pack.
That food made me hungry. And then also thinking about the Embassy Suites and the free breakfast there making me hungry too, Joe. So
And
I don't know. This show makes
me.
me hungry all the time.
And it's part of ham radio. I think ham radio lives on what's the place? Golden Corral. I swear, when I get invited to speak at different ham fests around the Midwest or around the country, they always like to take the group to Golden Corral. I don't know what it is.
I've eaten at Golden Corral, especially in Dayton, a number of times. But now that Kathy's going, she will not go to Golden Corral. She has a feeling. She has this feeling she does not want to eat there, so we just don't eat there.
Yeah, instead, some of them go to Cracker Barrel and places like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My wife loves Cracker Barrel.
Oh, yeah.
I like Cracker Barrel.
And there's a lot of them across Tennessee. That's probably where we'll be stopping tomorrow, Cracker Barrel. See, we're talking food again.
I know.
Okay,
if it's not ham
call.
radio, we're talking food.
Last call, 901-286-1116. You got 30 seconds, and we're going to close this thing down.
And I'm going to try and get on 6 meters and see if I can work Wyoming.
Yeah, I bet you can get Dwayne.
Yeah.
I'll try. I'll point the antenna your way.
Sounds good. Well, Tom, I hope you and Kathy have a great time at your home down there in the town that I can never pronounce, so I'm not even going to try.
Tuckasegee.
We'll miss you.
Tuckasegee.
Yeah, I'll be. We're heading to Connecticut next week for the ARL board meeting that Dwayne's going to, and Mom and I are heading also out. We're going to go visit with family and friends, and I'll be at W1AW operating that Thursday afternoon. So I'll be sure to make a post on our group to let you guys know when I'm on the air. So hopefully I can get you a QSO with W1AW.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's always fun to operate
It'd be cool if I can get my friend to contact with W1AW. We may not be ready this week, though. It may be the weekend. All right, very good. Okay, hey, guys, Dave, Joe, Katie, everybody, thank you so much for joining the show tonight. Had a good time.
73 is from Lincoln, Nebraska.
We'll see you in the next week or two.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey.
Guys, I'm not doing hangout tonight. I got a lot of stuff to do, and we'll just skip hangout tonight. 73 to everybody.
Bye-bye.
73.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.